So no writer's stream this week, but I thought I'd do an interview with you because I've been putting together your Kickstarter,
Uh,
and let's go ahead. I was This isn't actually the final version of it. There's like one more version where uh, Stephen Burks really wants it to pop. But you like the cover you came
oh
up?
yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah, man. To me, it looks very, what I'm saying, very tribal and artsy, man. He went in, man. You know, Preston told him to add a little more magic, man. Yeah.
Oh, wait, let me share this so everybody can see it. And I like being able to go to shows and sell stuff so that I know that people are like, oh yeah, no, they really like uh Stephen Burks. He's done some work for me previously, which was his first comic book cover ever, which was
Ooh,
for Palace, and so this is his second ever comic book cover. And
wow.
as part of the deal, by the way, is that this is going to be a limited issue cover, and he gets 20 of them. So
Wow.
because when he goes to shows, he's going to sell these to his crowd. So there's going to be people out there who don't know you, who don't know me, who are going to be getting Son Solar in Kirikiba #1. How about that? And they're going to be paying a
Wow.
premium.
Oh,
And
man.
I think that's a really cool, image.
Me, it looks to me, it's got that. You know how those people sell those paintings, man, at a high
Hmm.
premium. It
Yeah.
got that, like it was drawn by somebody way back in the '70s or something. It
Right.
got some value.
So, Molby, tell us about yourself. I gathered you're from New Jersey, my favorite state in the whole union. I love everybody from New Jersey. New Jersey loves me. It's a great place.
Why you gonna start it like that? That's just wrong. I think, Preston, you still owe somebody money in Jersey.
uh,
Well, I mean, I'm originally from Haiti, man. The
yeah. Okay.
family moved in Jersey back in the early '90s.
Okay.
And then we've been there ever since. And I've come to find a lot of my family scattered from Jersey to Florida. It's like a Haitian thing, man. If Haitians come to America, they're either gonna be in Florida or New Jersey or New York. You know, what I'm,
Right.
you know, but other than that, we came and man, I've just been trying to, while I'm here, learn and become. When you're in America, man, it's not about dreaming big. You just gotta leave your mark, man. I'm just trying to leave my mark and maybe reach something, man, so other Haitian people could be, you know what, man, he was here, but he wasn't just here, man. He left his mark on the country, man. You know.
Now, Son Solar, that's set in Africa.
Oh,
So I know you chose Africa, not Haiti.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, what happened is I had a very because I watched Black Panther. I was
Hmm.
watching Black Panther,
Hmm.
and I fell back in love with Superman, and I was like, you know what, man, and you know it. I've been sharing it with you on the Discord where I've been
Sure.
creating an endless amount of Superman based characters. And then I thought, you know what? What if Superman and Black Panther were one character? And instead of it being a panther, it was more inspired by a cheetah. And then
Okay.
I came up with Sun Solar, and I'm like, you know what? Set it in Africa because give it a different location. Because Haiti, I'm working on something else, but more historical. But I just wanted to. I got inspired by Black Panther, and I'm like, I don't let me do something. And I grew up watching a lot of those Animal Planet things, where they're always showing you on Discovery Channel about the lions, the
Right.
tigers, the cheetahs. I'm like, you know what? Let me do something set in Africa, man. I've watched it my whole life, so why not?
Is your family impressed that you've put together a comic book?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, they're impressed. It's to me what I've come to learn, and you probably dealt with this, man. We make a comic, and people are only impressed if you get interviewed on TV.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
you know, it's like Preston made like 5, 10 comics, man, and you show it
I
to the
did.
family. They're like,
Yeah.
"Where's your TV interview?"
I know. It's tough, man. You gotta write those narratives and be, just the right guy at the right time, saying the right
Mm,
things. And like that's not art, that's just clout chasing and
oh,
blah.
oh,
So
yeah.
now, all right, we're set in Africa. We're battling poachers. I think certainly. Are you passionate about animals?
Oh, yeah, yeah, man. I grew up, man, and to this day, I still think of Steve Irwin, man. Me and my brothers, when you come to America, we didn't speak a lot of English, but man, we grew up watching the Discovery Channel, man, Animal Planet, and there's a love for that. And I just think, maybe if I do a cheetah inspired something, maybe later on I can, use it to help educate people on the animals and try to save them, man.
Sure.
Because we see that, man. It's sad that me and you, man, we could save so many animals went extinct, man. Like we gotta watch them on TV because that's the only place they exist now. So
Right.
I think maybe doing something based in Africa, and something positive, man.
Yeah, I've been working with you on writing for a couple of years,
Oh
right? At
yeah,
least, right? Like I think more than that, maybe coming up on
oh,
3. Because like
oh,
you and I started working together before quarantine,
oh,
before any of that. Like
oh, Preston,
so,
man. Well, that's a
like like
long.
like 2019. I think we worked together like 4 years now. I think
Oh,
so. This
yeah,
is
man. But Preston,
and
man, that was a
mhm,
long time
that
ago.
was a long
Before
time
the
ago.
quarantine,
Before the
do you even remember
quarantine,
that time?
before the quarantine, before the whole like crazy hate campaigns that have come against me and all that weirdness.
No, oh yeah, oh,
Yeah, man.
uh,
Now and over that time you've been working with a number of stories. I know the first one you brought me was like a comedy, and I kind of started to think of you as like a comedy guy, but this is more of like a serious one. And I helped you bring this one to life.
oh,
Why did you choose this one?
this. Well, I mean, to me, man, I think we've become very, what they call, I forget that word, but cynical, man. And I thought, because at a time I lost my love for Superman, man. I got so deep into the politics that
Mhm.
I fell out of love with that, and then I rekindled it, and I'm like, man, we need to make comics where the character's happy, man.
Right. And I
The
mean, one thing I do know and following you is you're very passionate about, men's issues and like Superman is there originally at least to
uh,
teach values and morals
uh,
to young boys.
oh, there it is.
And do you see like yourself stepping into that?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I see this, man. To me, you were. I think there's a lot of kids that are outcast. Like if you
Mhm.
don't play, where I come from. If you're not an athlete, you're not a musician, you're an outcast. So I
Right.
look at it as, man, if a guy like me, I don't play sports,
Mhm.
and the other stuff is hobbies. And I'm like, if I do something like this, a strong character, we don't include none of this division stuff, and just it's an powerful character, inspirational, happy,
Right.
because I looked at it like you mentioned Superman, and I remember when I came to this country before I could speak a lick of English, man. I knew Superman. You know,
Right.
I grew up watching those cartoons from the '40s, thinking it was new.
Hmm.
And I'm like, man, it's messed up that as a kid I love Superman, but then I grew up and all that division, left, right, liberal, that, and then I ran away from the character, man. I started looking away from the story and looking at the politics, man. And I'm like, you know what? I gotta get back to Superman. I gotta get back to because a lot of people don't know, man. I met Preston. I talked to Preston 2019.
Right.
Preston's not a guy who, who will give himself credit, but man, the guy was under attack, and rather than just, go into some war with other people, man, Preston said, you know what? I'm into the writing process, the creative process. Let me work with people. Even though I'm getting this negativity, I'm gonna work with up and coming creators, man. And like since 2019, from people working with Preston, myself, and a lot of people have benefited, and I think to me, man, when I did this story, Son Solar, I'm like, it was good for my good for my mind, man. Put me at peace to come back to the positive, man.
Today on Twitter, I don't get into political discussions much. I mean, I
uh,
certainly have a lot of political thoughts, but I
uh,
really try not to talk about them too much, particularly on social media, because like no
mm,
one listens. No one really sits there and goes, you know what, you're right. But
uh,
I was talking with another comic creator, and we were talking about like the Matrix,
mm,
and he started, he kind of sussed out that maybe we didn't agree, and then his whole tone changed,
mm,
and looked to me where we were just talking about a movie, and
uh,
like I left him with, here's a link to my comic book, because it's the nature of art, I think, is to try and get
mm,
beyond whatever the divisive things is of the moment and try to reach what is part of a commonality to the human experience.
mm,
And I certainly think we should all care about animals. I know,
uh,
I love animals,
uh,
and my daughter loves animals, and
uh,
I'm glad you love animals. So
hey, man, we,
that's
we
cool.
got it, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I mean, you bring that up is to me. I've been telling people, man,
Mm.
it's sad to say a lot of people been trained to seek another person as an antagonist, man.
Right.
You're talking about the Matrix, and everyone's been trained that, man. Okay, we're talking about the Matrix, but I'm just waiting for the moment where he says something that can
Yeah.
make me hate him, man. It's crazy, man.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. So.
You know what I mean? I personally think, man, guys like us are cursed, man. Anybody that was mentally alive before the year 2010s when it was normal,
Hmm.
when you could just talk to somebody and disagree, who didn't have to agree to disagree. It was just, you know what, Preston likes frosted flakes. I like
Yeah.
cornflakes.
Yeah.
That's his thing, not me. I'm more of a cornflake guy, no
Right.
sugar.
Yeah. And like it was. I don't know. Like I feel I can't help but think that America's kind of in its waning years, as in terms of like political power, and we're starting to see other cultures come on the rise, and there's going to be a whole lot of changes that come along with that, and we need to get used to whatever the adjustments are going to be, and I'm sure there's going to be some challenges, and it's going to need for us to come together and talk reasonably and rationally about what we're doing,
Well, I
and
mean, I've been on. It's like I told you way back, man. When did we start? When did you start the writers stream?
in 2019.
It was
Yeah,
2019, and I said,
yeah,
man, this is America right here, man.
right,
We had 4, 5, 8 different people. Some from the West, East, some
right,
even from other countries, some from South, North. This is America, man. America's country where people aren't from the same place, and we talk and we
right,
agree, we disagree, but it's not a war, man. It's not what
right.
is presented online, man.
Yeah,
it ain't that much of a battle. We're just normal people, man.
exactly.
I
And
just man,
I,
go
I do the writer's stream because I want to try and help people create things, and we've had fair like, look, the only people I can really look at and go, well, they kind of flamed out, were the ones who left. Like if you
on.
stay and you put the work in, I feel like you do okay. So I'm glad you've hung around, and I'm glad you're now debuting your first comic book, and congratulations. And the main question I would ask, I guess, is who do you think the ideal reader for Son Solar would be?
Well, to me, the ideal reader would be superhero fan, somebody that's into superheroes, but at the same time, you want more action, yet at the same time, you want to walk out of reading that book saying, you know what, man, I learned something, or
Right.
something I'm compassionate about. I look at it as more like the '90s Superman, and somebody who just wants a clean story, man, where there's no there won't be politics or none of that, man. You get to escape. You get to live in that character's world. That's the person I think would enjoy this book. And one thing I've pride myself on doing, man. It's not racial. It's none of that. It's just, man. Let's write something good, man. Something
Yeah.
of quality, man. One thing I give Preston is this. He chose to get into the writing process, rather than, the old, I'm just going to support the book, but I'm not
Mm.
involved in the creative process. And like you were saying, man, a lot of people benefited. And I think a lot of people who left the writer streams were looking for, because I'm siding with Preston, he's going to ignore any deficiencies I have. And we're just gonna
Right.
put the book out versus, you know what, man, you need to work on the grammar. You know,
Mhm.
you need to work on the writing style, the approach.
Well,
Uh,
I mean,
you know,
I certainly observed some flaws. Like there was a lot of tribalism in comic books and
mm,
online communities, and there would be people who would promote other people because they were in their little
mm,
clique.
mm,
But then, like I felt like what they were promoting wouldn't tend to be as good as it could have been,
mm,
and a lot of times, like it would go undelivered. Like they weren't helping with like the concrete stuff
mm,
of how to negotiate with your artists, how to like arrange for the thing to be financed, how much it would cost, where's a good printer, how do you ship it.
mm.
And if you're just dealing with somebody who's never faced these challenges before, a lot of times they just come up empty. And I wanted to try and solve that for them. So I'm glad that you are the latest beneficiary, and I'm very proud of all of you. So
Oh man, I'm saying, Preston's gonna grow a beard, become like Master Splinter from the '90s Ninja Turtle
exactly.
movie.
I'm doing my best. All right. Well, awesome. Well, I want to get I want to get an interview with you on record, and I'm going to post this, and I'll let it some clips out to make the Kickstarter video.
Mm,
But other than that, thanks so much for coming
mm,
on. And Son Solar and Kitty Kiba, I will post a link down in the description when that is live. So anyone watching this video, you can go sign up or get Molby's book. And when it's done, do you think you're going to start going to comic conventions?
oh,
As
yeah,
like on the other side of the table,
well, oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I've done it, man. I was there, like for example, in Jersey, we had a good convention in Newark, but
Right.
the person who was hosting it got greedy, and man, he shut it down. He broke down the stuff because locally we don't have enough. Like
Right.
you're more in a bigger state.
Yes.
You're in a bigger state where you got choose. Houston, Austin. There's a lot of territory, but in Jersey, comics wise, you're either going to New York
Hmm.
or close to New York. There's not that much going on, even though Newark is the biggest, city in Jersey. Like, it's crazy that the biggest city, per capita in Jersey has
Right.
nothing.
What what what
It
about Philly?
uh,
You can go over to Philly.
oh yeah, yeah. No, I plan to. I mean, I plan to travel with it. It's just that I wanted to be the hometown. Like, I want to ask
Yeah.
you a question while you're here. I think because of the internet, man, a lot of people neglect getting that home field advantage, man.
Hmm.
I just think if I can get a fan base in Jersey where people are like, dude, he's from here, he grew up here.
Yeah.
It's more natural and organic to support him. He's one of us. But Jersey, the conventions are blurred, man. You one month, 1 year you have a good set of conventions, then that person hosting it just messes up, or politics, and It's a little wild. And right now, New York, man, New York is Mad Max. You know, I wouldn't touch New York. So, you know, for the time being, too many things are going on there. You know, but yeah, but Philly, you got a point. Philadelphia, that could work. That could work, man. You
know, I'm here for you.
know?
All right, awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, and back Son Solar #1 coming out on Kickstarter. So,
Thank you, Preston.
awesome.
Man.
Thanks so much for your time, man. Take care.
All right, brother. Peace.